Part 1. The Blizzard. The storm had been screaming for 36 hours. Not wind, not weather. A living thing clawing at the metal walls of Research Station Vostok 7, buried in the Arctic tundra where nothing grew and nothing survived without permission. Inside, the generator coughed like a dying animal. Sergei Volkov tightened his gloves and watched frost creep across the inside of the window. Frost inside meant the insulation was failing. Failing meant exposure. Exposure meant death. The temperature outside had dropped to -50. Inside, it wasn't much better. 6 of them remained. 2 engineers, 1 medic, 1 communications officer, a geologist, and Sergei, former Russian army, reassigned to security detail for a project no one would explain. 3 days ago, they lost contact with Moscow. 2 days ago, something began scratching at the outer perimeter fence. Yesterday, Petrov went outside to clear snow from the intake vents. He didn't come back. They found him 20 meters from the airlock, half buried, parka torn open, throat missing. There were no animals on the thermal scopes. That was the worst part. Sergei stepped into the corridor. The lights flickered overhead. Diesel fumes lingered thick in the air. Anna, the medic, sat against the wall holding a blood-stained bandage to her arm. "It wasn't frostbite," she whispered when she saw him looking. "It bit me." Sergei didn't answer, because he had seen the bite. Human teeth. Too many teeth. A crash echoed from the western maintenance wing. Everyone froze. Another crash. Metal, bending. The storm howled louder, as if excited. "They're back," the communications officer muttered. Sergei chambered a round into his rifle. The sound was sharp, final. "They?" Anna asked. Before he could answer, the emergency alarms screamed. Outer door breach. The camera monitor flickered to life. Through swirling snow and ice, shapes moved beyond the floodlights. Not stumbling, running. There were at least 8 of them. Petrov was in front. His skin was gray and stretched too tight over his face. His jaw hung loose, snapping open and shut like something unhinged inside him. His eyes were white. Behind him, others emerged from the storm. Men in torn research uniforms from other stations that had gone silent weeks ago. They slammed against the reinforced door in perfect rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. Not mindless. Coordinated. The first hinge snapped. Inside, the heating system died. The lights went out. Darkness swallowed the station. Only the red emergency strips remained, bleeding across the corridor floors. A scream erupted from the west wing. Gunfire followed, short bursts, then silence. Sergei grabbed Anna's arm. "To the lower lab." "That's where they kept it," she said. He didn't slow down. The lower laboratory had been sealed since the incident. Whatever Moscow had been studying came from beneath the ice. A drilling operation. A bacterial sample, they claimed. Sergei didn't believe in coincidences. Behind them, metal shrieked as the outer door gave way. Wind blasted through the station like a freight train. And beneath the wind, voices. Whispering. Familiar voices. Petrov's voice, calling their names. The stairwell door exploded inward. A body flew down the steps. Not dead. Turning. Sergei fired. The rifle flash illuminated gray flesh mid-transformation. Bones shifting, teeth forcing through gums. The smell hit a second later. Rot mixed with frozen iron. More footsteps above. Too many. They reached the lower lab. Sergei shoved Anna inside and slammed the reinforced hatch shut. The impact from the other side came instantly. They knew exactly where to go. Anna backed toward the steel containment chamber in the center of the room. The glass was cracked. Inside, the drill core sample rested in its cylindrical case. Black ice, veined with something dark that pulsed faintly. It was warm. In a room that had dropped below freezing, it was warm. Another slam shook the hatch. The hinges bent inward. "They aren't frozen," Anna whispered. "They're adapting." Sergei looked at the sample, then at the emergency incineration switch on the far wall. If he destroyed it, the entire lower level would ignite. If he didn't, the hatch split open. Petrov forced his head through the gap. His spine bent wrong. His mouth opened too wide, and he smiled. Behind him, the others pressed forward. Sergei lifted his rifle. The generator above them roared back to life for half a second, long enough for every light in the lab to flicker on, long enough to see movement beneath the ice sample. Something shifting inside it. Something awake. The power died again. The room fell into red darkness. The hatch burst open, and the storm outside stopped screaming. End of part 1.